I'm such a doofus. I forgot. I actually have to turn that music off.
I liked it though. It got me in the zone.
Happy Monday, everybody. Wowza. It's Monday again. It's Monday. You can see I'm not alone today. I have a special guest is with us because I'm going to do something fun and crazy and going into the unknown for me. And I'm doing it with a little backup here to make sure all questions get answered as I do this. So we have Emma from Wholesale. And if you were with me a couple of weeks ago, I had Casey Paris on, the Rockstar Flipper, and he was talking about Wholesale. So reached out. Here we are. We'll bring the source right to the show so you guys can get all of your questions answered, and we can do a live demo today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really, really excited to hear what you think as you get in there and shop and to answer any questions from your viewers. There's a lot of people here. So there
are a lot of people here.
And they're being very nice. Thank you. and yeah, I'm super, super excited. Oh, I see Mikey Bags of Money.
Mikey Bags of Money. Yep. Mikey Bags of Money in the house.
Mikey did a shop with us recently too, so that was awesome. We are, and yeah, a fellow Canadian indeed. I am actually, so okay, full disclosure, I'm an American, but I reside in Canada. I've lived there for the better part of 10 years. And I feel like I always have to apologize to other Canadians because we have not yet launched in Canada. And I feel incredibly guilty. So as a Canadian, I say sorry. And we hope that we can be there very soon.
Well, but yeah, I feel like it's coming soon.
That's what we hope. That's what we hope. And but we're a pretty young startup. So I can give you a little bit of a background on who we are. It's myself and my co-founder, Kat, who is the technical programmer, developer. She's built every line of code that's on our website right now. She's built herself from scratch. And the two of us had this idea to basically make it easier for resellers to source in bulk online. We had this idea back in February. And so we started working with like a small group of sellers who were already interested in kind of buying and selling in bulk. Many of them had been doing it through Casey Paris's Shopify store. And we started working with like a couple thousand people around the country to start testing it, seeing did people really like this, what kind of features are important. And that was really successful and just a really fun experience in terms of getting to meet people who are invested in our project and who have become really good friends. And it's been very fun. And they gave us great feedback on the project. So we spent a couple months building it. Like I say, Kat's building it from scratch. And then in this summer, pretty much end of June, we started opening it up to just all resellers nationwide, not in Canada, but US. And we're really excited to get the word out about the site because we're super happy with what we've been able to build. But because we are such a small team and we're gearing up to grow, we're looking to expand, but Canada is on the horizon once we get a little bit more power behind our technical team here. So
yeah, and and it's like, kudos to you because building a company from scratch is no easy feat. And I've followed you guys since you kind of went public with it. I have not done a purchase or a sell yet, but I've been following, and you have a Facebook group, and and I kind of keep my finger on the pulse of what other people are saying and how they're utilizing it. And there's been a couple of companies out there, and there's some that I never ever talk about because I don't feel like they're worthy. But I like what you guys are doing. I have heard great things, and so I wanted to bring you here and endorse you in front of my people because I hear all the time, I can't find good stuff to sell. I can't find stuff to sell. There's nothing around me, and this is a solution to some of those people having problems. Now I'm going to share this screen and give a little overview of what Whatnot looks like as we talk about it, so people can see. So you have categories, and are you looking to add categories? Like, what's happening with kind of your growth?
Yes, good
Future.
question. So, one of the important thing to know about our site and how it is different from maybe other like bulk sources is that all of the lots that are listed on our website are coming from real people, just individuals, like mostly resellers at this point, who have inventory that they've tapped into that's outside of their niche, that's, for whatever reason, not fitting into their business model. And they're looking to wholesale it to another reseller. So rather than like just kind of like pallets of new items, we see items that have been collected and hand curated by resellers who picked those things because they saw the value and the flippable potential there, and they've consolidated it into bundles to make it easier for them to sell, and so that you can benefit from a wholesale liquidation price on those goods. So we see a lot of clothing. There is a lot of new with tags type stuff on there, and that's just, I think, by nature of we had a lot of interest from people kind of in the Poshmark community, a lot of that sort of like new with tag sellers, but we also have a lot of vintage on there. And if anything, I'm like super excited about the vintage and the collectibles kind of potential that we have, because there is no spot right now for bulk sales of those types of items. So if you are thinking of selling on our site, like, I super encourage you to try out pretty much anything. Even if it's something that's heavy and challenging to ship, we're actually able to advertise it to a local buying audience too. So don't consider that
fantastic.
Yeah. And then if things are shippable, it goes nationwide to our audience. So yeah, categories, anything is welcome.
Stuff like this. So, and you break it down. So everything is listed with the shipping included. So the price you see is what you pay. And so it's like, this would be $14 for 26 Christmas stockings. Breaks it down to 55 cents a unit. If you sold these for $10 each, that's $260.
I'm glad you did the math, because I wouldn't be able to.
I had to think about it for a second.
But yes, sorry for a little noise on my end. I'm saving a screenshot of us talking because I'm so excited to be here. So I want it for posterity. But we really wanted to make we know that everyone who's buying on our site is a reseller. So like, the most important thing when you're shopping is, what is the profit margin? Like, what's the potential that you can make, and what are your true cost of goods? So from the beginning, we've always wanted to be extremely transparent in our pricing. And that means including the 10% buyer's premium and the shipping as part of the total cost. So when you're seeing those prices on the shop page, you can know that that is inclusive of an average shipping rate, meaning that's what that package would cost to get from New York to Texas, pretty much. When you click in, it actually calculates exactly for your zip code.
Oh, so that's awesome.
Yeah, we can't do it where it calculates for your zip code just from the general page,
like the main, yeah. But
yes, but when you click in, you'll see your calculated rate for you.
Whoop. Well, that's a good one to highlight. We'll highlight that one, but that was not the one that I was going to highlight. I was going for this one.
Do we have an app is a great question. And yeah, please keep questions coming, because I'm super happy to answer them. And thank you for promoting my YouTube channel. It's pretty minimal at the moment, Melissa, but thank you. So do we have an app? This website has been designed mobile first. So all of the functionality that you could possibly want to do on our website is designed perfectly to be done within your web browser on your app. However, we know that people really like to have like an app on the homepage that remains permanently signed in, that can give push notifications. So it's on our product roadmap in the near future to be able to migrate this into something that can be downloaded from the App Store. Right now, to access it, you just go to wholesale.com in your Chrome or your Safari or whatever it is that you use on your phone, and you can use it totally no problem on a mobile phone. However, again, like I said, it's just the only person doing tech for us right now is my partner, Kat, who's coding in the other room furiously. And it's quite a challenge to build this type of tech on mobile devices, while you're also building it for computers for the first time.
I was married to a programmer for 23 years. So I know a little bit more about what goes into doing something like this, than the average bear. And so a lot of people go, oh, well, you just need to like just code that into it, or you just need to make an app, or you just need to. There is no such thing as you just need to.
Right.
It is
Everything it has to
intense.
be, and
Yeah.
you know, it's like all the systems have to work together,
Right.
and we do have a lot of complex features. So, you know, it's almost kind of like as it gets bigger, it can take a little bit of time to maintain and update. However, you know, we really have, by having this tech in house, it's been a huge blessing because we can build totally custom features. And that's what we've been doing the last couple months, is with the feedback of our community, who are all resellers looking to source and sell in bulk. We've built out features that they've identified as being useful for them. So that includes that sort of like that cost of goods upfront, like you saw when you
I
are in the
love
listing.
that.
Yeah, I'm so glad. And then when you're in the listing, you can actually see an ROI estimator. So based on what the seller thinks that this thing could resell for parted out on eBay, you can get an estimate of how much you actually stand to make. Our shipping is designed to accommodate multiple parcels because we're talking about big lots. And we've also got auction, buy it now, make offers, all these features that were requested from the community, we were able to put in just sort of on demand. So all that is to say, we welcome feedback. And if you are interested in like how a product like this gets made, I really encourage you to join our Facebook group, which is Wholesale Resellers Connect. Maybe that's something Melissa could pop in the chat if she hasn't already.
Sure will.
That would be amazing. It is totally welcome to anybody who's a user of our site. And it's where we're kind of like, hey, should we do it this way or this way? And we'll get polls and get feedback from people. So we'd love to have your feedback in that group if you're interested.
And this is super key, because I know there's a company right now, and I'm not going to say their name, but they are not listening to their people, and it's going to get them in big trouble if they don't listen. But I love that. I've already watched you make I've watched this, as I said, evolve from the time you first announced it, and you guys are listening. And now we'll talk about another very successful company, List Perfectly, who also listened to the community and built it the way the community needed. And that is so huge nowadays, because you have like, didn't used to be you could get your customer's voice that quickly.
Right.
You know, you just had to watch, like, wait, nobody's using this, or sales are down, and then try to figure it out. But now, literally, we have like all of this information and communication, and it's an amazing thing.
The power of like being able to get everybody who's using our site in one place to talk about it is like miraculous. Like, I don't know how anybody built websites before this, probably with a lot of extremely expensive trial and error, but because we've been able to talk to our community about it, it's been really helpful. And, you know, you mentioned List Perfectly. They're an awesome partner of ours. So Kat and myself being, you know, coming into this space as two women and trying to build something from scratch, from the ground up, particularly for resellers, we really like looked at them as like, this is the model of who we want to follow. And at first it was very just kind of like creeping on them from afar. We didn't really imagine that they would be interested in working with us, or we hoped that they would be, but really from very early on in our journey, when they found out what we were doing, they've been a huge support to us.
They are amazing women. Like,
and they're helping us get the word out too. And we're working on some types of direct integrations between our two platforms, because there are a lot of opportunities. It's down the road a little bit, but it's something
that's exciting.
Yeah. Basically, the idea being that if you identify listings that are in your List Perfectly catalog as being something you want to change out, you're ready to move it on and just kind of liquidate it, recoup your cost of goods, you can export those things directly into a listing on Haulsale is the idea. So
let me just ask a question for my chat over there. Raise your hand. Well, you're going to have to like type something. So get your fingers ready. Who has a death pile / profit pile, as we like to call them here, / bunch of stuff I'm never going to get listed? Let's see how many people over here have that. I suspect it's going to be quite a few, because death pile is something it's like just terminology in the industry. Like, everybody has them.
Yeah.
Because you source things, and then you source other things, and then you get more excited about this newer stuff coming in, and that other stuff gets pushed over here, but it's still good merchandise. Somebody might be excited about it, Look.
Well, Abby asked a great question of like, how did we decide we wanted to start working in resale? And a lot of it came down to, so I've been like major thrifter my whole life. I'm extremely into it, but I never got very good at reselling, but I can certainly pick the things, but do I get around to listing them? Very rarely. And so, and trust me, since this project started, that has been my Poshmark has been on vacation for a while. But I never really perfected that art of like listing and being able to scale my business, but even though I loved the hunt. And so if I could acquire all these items that I know have a ton of meat left on the bone because I got a great price, I can still get a cut of that deal by putting it all in a haul, doing extremely minimal work to document it, and then shipping it off to a reseller who is going to maximize the earning potential on it. So it comes from my interest in thrifting, was how we started to work in resale. And also we really think that this site could become a place where people who are not resellers can actually functionally liquidate, get rid of really easily stuff that's accumulating in their closets. So we want to maybe be a way for people to almost bypass the yard sale, bypass the donation center, and allow them to get it into the hands of a reseller really directly.
Yeah, no, I love it. But so I want to address like all of you over there who said you have a pile of stuff that is not listed, probably never going to get listed. This is your solution. Like, this is it. You won't make as much as if you were to individually list all those things, but you can make something. You can get that money back to go invest into things that will motivate you to list and the things that you want to focus on. This is great if let's say you went into clothing and then you go, I hate listing clothing. Perfect. Get rid of all that clothing, recoup your money, and go on and get into something that you really enjoy selling. Like, this is so great. This is so great.
I do think it can work really nice with the model of perfecting your niche. You can still tap into the value of goods outside of your niche that you encounter by putting them up on wholesale. A rural squirrel, hello, asked a great question. How are we dealing with returns?
Well, and I was just going to say, like, that was a great segue because I highlighted this. I want to talk about your whole purchase protection and the whole scammers be gone thing. So that is a perfect segue into that.
Yes, it totally is. So the short answer to how do we handle returns, everything on our site is an as-is sale. So I want to make sure that that's clear, that we don't do returns on this site. If you're familiar with other like wholesaling liquidation sites, auction houses, we're really kind of have to be modeling around that. So sales are as is. What we do guarantee though is that anything that was explicitly mentioned or shown in the manifest of the lot you purchase will be included in the lot, or you receive a proportionate refund. If the lot does not ship, if the lot does not get delivered intact within the time frame promised, you're eligible for a refund. And we are sort of because we are a reseller to reseller based site, it's like all of us know that sometimes a buyer is not always in the right necessarily. We don't want to be we always side with the buyer. We want to protect the seller as well. And that's where the as is comes from. And we are closely manually screening every lot that comes through our site. So that's an important thing to know, is that we have a really human managed marketplace here. And we're monitoring for consistency and quality in the listings. And we're monitoring for patterns of either complaints or discrepancies between listing quality and what's delivered. So if a seller is demonstrating a pattern of delivering goods that are not in line with what their listing said it was in terms of condition, it's a 3 strikes you're out policy. Same for buying. If there's a repeat pattern of claiming things are not what they were supposed to be, that's a 3 strikes you're out policy. So we are really, really closely monitoring all the exchanges on our platform. We're monitoring and screening what comes in terms of content, and we're monitoring and screening what goes on in terms of transaction satisfaction.
Fantastic. I just need to take a moment and say welcome, Pamela, to the Niche Nation.
Yeah, welcome to everybody else who hopped on. This is awesome. It's great to have so many people here who are asking questions. And
Yeah, let's
I'm
see.
super
Did
happy to
I?
answer.
Sometimes the chat goes so fast. I might miss a question, so just ask it again.
Yeah.
They're asking. Okay, so let's talk about the costs to buy and sell.
Yep. So we have, much like I mentioned, we're operating kind of after the model of a more traditional auction house. We have a buyer's premium and we have a seller's fee. So we're distributing that cost of having this human managed marketplace between both the buyers and the sellers because there are advantages from that service for both sides. So it makes sense to distribute it. So we have the 10% premium. What I want to point out though is that on their first purchase, any of your audience can use the coupon code the niche lady, all one word, on all caps, and have that 10% platform fee waived on their first purchase. And we are also exploring for sellers who are producing a significant volume of items, we're exploring sort of tiered based fees or subscription models. So right now we've got, just kind of for ease of comprehension, we've got the 10 and 10 on each side, which is, you know, we're able to support the operations and like the labor that we'll need to go into continuing to monitor at the level that we're doing. But it also, we need to be able to have healthy enough margins that people can continue to make money on each side. So that's how we've arrived there. But I do feel like people should be aware that we're very much exploring subscription-based models and volume-based tiers. So yeah, 10 and 10.
I love it.
And with a 10% discount using the niche lady at checkout.
Yes, there is that.
Mhm.
I have to remember to use it when I buy myself. No, I'm just kidding. I am. You guys stick around because I am going to go in and I am going to buy a lot. And hopefully all goes well and I have it maybe by next Monday to open it live.
Awesome. That would be amazing. I saw a question from AK Mackenzie about glassware and pots and pans. So something that we found is that the amount of effort that goes into safely packaging glassware in bulk might be more than you are willing to do for the wholesale price that someone's willing to pay for it.
Yeah, you do have to be careful. And you need to be careful that it is packaged safely.
So what we recommend instead is that you create that listing and designate it for pickup only and don't offer the shipping.
Oh,
and that gets advertised by email to everyone in our buyer base who's indicated they're willing to travel within a certain radius to pick things up. So it'll go to people who have indicated, I'm interested in that category of homewares. Right now, we're going to be kind of refining and niching down further on categories as we go. But we will also alert them, hey, there's a lot in your area. So the local pickup thing is definitely something we want to encourage and lean into. So please don't feel discouraged if something's challenging to ship, like glassware and pots. Shoes and toys are definitely selling and actually in huge demand, particularly like new or excellent used shoes. Used shoes that are in need of repair or damage are much lower, as you'd expect, but there's still a market for them.
Let's talk about the selling process because we just got this question. So we don't ship anything to you.
No, we're just a pure marketplace.
We ship it where it's going.
Yeah, exactly. It's much like, you know, like Whatnot or eBay or whatever, you know, you make the sale, we send you the label. Mm-hmm. Or if it's a pickup sale, we facilitate and confirm an appointment time for both parties.
Oh, that's good. Because I didn't even know about the local pickup thing. That's cool. Because well, those that know me know I sell a lot of glass and a lot of breakables, and you're right. So once you get over that 12 by 12 by 12, you also are going into a much higher shipping rate, which may not make it as enticing because that shipping has to be accounted for in the price per item. But I love that while shopping, you get to see that and you get to go, okay, well, this isn't going to work for my margins. Or if you're nearby someone, then that shipping isn't a factor and it's just the price per piece. So this is really awesome.
Well, and because we know that particularly with the bulky boxes, shipping and because it eats into the margins here, shipping is a huge priority. You can search lots by geographic proximity to you. Even in terms of like shippable lots. So you can see, hey, what's for pickup near me, but you can also say like, oh, I want to look first at things that have low shipping. Like if you're like, I know I'm in a category with like bigger items and I know that the shipping could be prohibitive, you can actually search by proximity. What we found is like Small items with high value, you know, obviously it's nice to bundle those up in big boxes, but we've seen plenty of larger items go through the site too. And like I said, we have kind of multi-parcel options. So even if it's a large quantity of items and you need to break it up into multiple boxes, we can help you facilitate that.
So
Yeah.
like, for instance, so if I was looking at this, so if you're nearby, obviously, oh, you say when I click in, then I'm going to see the reel. Okay. So I would need to go and I'd need to research how much these sweaters are going for, obviously, because my price is what, let's see. So it got a little lower, right? Because
Yeah.
it went down to $9.70 per unit because my cost is $59.
Yeah, so
I
you
would have to see
to this person than the
if
average.
these are selling for 25 to 30 bucks a piece, then boom.
Yeah. So maybe I could make a comment about our like screening process. So we have the option for sellers to add in an estimated resale value as part of their listing. So what we mean by that is like if you took each of these sweaters and made an individual
Like
Poshmark listing and it goes to the person who wants to wear this sweater, you know, how much could you stand to earn off this lot? And we advise our sellers to work backwards from that number to around 20 to 30% of that number. And that's what we suggest people start their wholesale lots at. So you'll see that pattern across the way. What we do as part of our screening for acceptability and clarity in the listings is we sense check currently those estimated resale values, and we will adjust those as we see based on comps. And we do that basically to try and keep it that as much as possible, you can rely on the resale value that you see on these sheets. But at the same time, I know we're all resellers and we all want to do our homework and check on it anyway. So, but hopefully you'll find that the comps online are in line with what we've designated as a potential resale value.
So let me I have to go back and forth and see the comments over here, make sure I'm not missing any questions. We have one. Do you have multiple shipping options like USPS, UPS, or FedEx?
Great question. So we use a third-party system called Shippo, and they automatically calculate the lowest rate available for any given transaction. As we build out our technical capability, we will go more in the direction of like Mercari, where you can kind of pick, like I would prefer to send it through this system. And we also will have it be so that it can automatically detect whether or not somebody's available. Like if they just have a PO box, it'll be able to offer only USPS rates. Right now, this is a little bit of a finicky thing. So we're closely monitoring all the labels that are coming to PO boxes. Just disclaimer. But it is technically very much achievable that we will be able to offer a sort of pick your own service. It just is going to take a little bit of manpower to develop it and a little bit of time. One of the exciting things that's going on for our business right now is we're actually in a startup accelerator program. So I'm calling you from Austin, Texas, rather than Montreal, where I normally am, because we're down here to participate in this program where they really get you ready to fundraise. And the goal is that you can go out and really speak confidently to investors at the end of this and have a really compelling story to help hire more engineers. So we can go get some more people to work on this hopefully quite soon. Kat's really plugging away at all these features, but in order for us to accelerate the roadmap, we really are looking to hire quite soon.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Fantastic. Welcome, Donna Bell. Welcome to the Niche Nation. We're so happy to have you.
Yes. And
so I saw another question. Where to go? Let's see.
Canada question, it came up again. I just want to say we definitely will be expanding to Canada once we've sort of perfected our product here in the US.
Oh,
so
well,
there's a lot more sellers down here, unfortunately, and there are kind of technical concerns around being able to process Canadian payments and manage Canadian shipping that we really need to wait until we've expanded our team and really perfected the model down here before we try and recreate it in Canada. How many things would be included in a lot? Is there a minimum or maximum? That is not a repeat question. It's a great question, Cindy. So we do not have any right now hard and fast policy on minimums or maximums. Maximum, we don't intend to set any type of maximum. Minimum, we don't say because it kind of depends on the value of the items in the lot and like the category that they're in. So we feel like generally we encourage people to make lots that are a dozen pieces and up generally, because to make it worth somebody's time of sourcing it through us, typically these are people who are looking for multiple items at once. So that being said, if you've got a smaller collection of higher value items, definitely submit it to us for review. If we feel like, if it's, the one thing I'll say is like 2 to 5 items is very small. So I would really try and lean a little bit higher than that. And then a good kind of rule of thumb is getting into that dozen and beyond, because we have people who are looking for, like, they want 100 pieces or nothing. And
yeah,
that's
more than just like making a lot of something, you know, like say on eBay, like this is wholesale. Like you're wholesaling, you're liquidating. This is not like I'm going to get full eBay price for every one of these items, so I'm only going to put 3 in there kind of a thing.
Exactly. And I do think that this would work great for someone downsizing a household, Patricia. That's actually something that we are really interested in testing in the next couple months. We want to offer our site as a place for even non-resellers who are downsizing their household to start listing their unwanted items up as one big lot so that one buyer can take it all. If you're a reseller who's downsizing and needs to liquidate inventory because you don't have the storage capability or don't want to pay to move it, we definitely are trying to be a solution for that. So for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, and I see a mention of chit chat, and yes, that's we know about chit chat, so totally. Oh, and I see somebody signed up and sees a lot they're interested in. That's fabulous. Do we have professional appraisers on our staff? What I will say is we are a team of resellers right now, and so we are manually appraising items that come through in terms of comping them. So we're not offering any kind of hard and fast guarantee on the appraisal price that we offer to our buyers.
Yeah, that would get sticky.
More as a guidance and a rule of thumb. And the appraisal is coming from us as resellers who know how to research comps. What we do definitely want to make clear is that if we for some reason set a resale value that strikes you as too low, we will absolutely accept appeals on that. You know, if there's information that we might have missed about what these items sell for and you do have a higher asking price as a result, we definitely welcome that. One of our sort of internal projects is to develop really a scalable appraisal system. And that's something that we'll do based on our own data points, based on automatic scraping of comps from eBay, Poshmark, and even, you know, by being partners with a site like List Perfectly that has information on how much stuff is actually selling for. If we can automate sort of the detection of categories and items, we can definitely do rough appraisal at scale.
And I just want to mention something too, because I'm seeing a lot of lots where it's all the same thing. And you can take a lower profit margin on those types of items because you're only doing the listing once and you're just selling repeatables. So because I'm always teaching people big margins, but I also take that and say, okay, I have 10 of these. What is the overall profit that I'm going to make? And that's the margin that I look at. So.
I love that. That's perfect advice. I guess the only caveat is like, you gotta have the storage available, you know, if you can kind of sit on something with multiple SKUs, then that's a beautiful thing. Cause it's true. Just one listing and set it and forget it. So we definitely see a lot of single SKU items come through, but we definitely are encouraging of mixed lots as well. So I hope that doesn't discourage anyone from creating mixed lots just to see.
Yeah. So see, here's one that looked like it was going to be a bigger margin for me when I first looked at it. But then because it's in New Jersey, the shipping to me makes this one cost a little more per unit than what I'd seen before.
Was it a big difference?
No, wait, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm dreaming. Yeah, see, it said 55 cents a unit.
Okay.
And then when I click in, it's $2.46 a unit.
Okay, so that is a bit of a discrepancy there.
$51.60 shipping. Holy smokers.
Okay. So here's something that, of course, would happen during a live shop. Every once in a while, Shippo just decides to spit out random numbers.
I don't think that's correct because 26 Christmas stockings is not oversized.
So let me tell you, the calculation will always be correct at checkout. However, sometimes what is displayed in that field there has been going a little haywire.
Yeah.
So this is real talk, real business stuff. Sometimes
Yeah, that's what I wanted to just do. Like, I don't mess around and try to just, sell people something. Like, we're here, we're in real time. This is the first time I've really gone through the site and done anything. So this is cool. And I also see you can make offer.
Yeah, definitely. So it's actually like a nice opportunity to be able to share. Like, we really are relying on our users to tell us when things are a little bit wonky. It is, like I say, we're a pretty young startup and our tech team is just one. And so debugging is like a process at any company, but especially because we're a smaller team, having our users immediately, like anything that's looking a little weird, bring it to us. And it's something that we want to address immediately. So this would be an example of, we'd want you to take a screenshot and send it to us.
Yeah. So I see a question about, like, how do I get started? How do I sell my stuff on here? So I wanted to just go to this page and look at this. So there's the self-service, which is basically like you create a listing and upload your pictures and all that, or you can book a call and get help.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that, especially because it's like kind of a newer, it's a different listing format than you might be used to. And people do have questions about how to prepare the best lot sizes and what categories are working. So you can book a call with our customer service manager, Vanessa, and she will be happy to walk you through starting your first listing.
So I'm just gonna peek here.
Yeah.
Just to show them kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of this, because a manifest, that might be a word that just, hey, would you come here? I have a bird flying around. Okay.
Well, while you chase the bird, I can say that by manifest, we mean basically an itemized list of what's in there. However, what I want to make sure is clear is the type of information that we require per item is extremely minimal. We only need to be able to provide the reseller buyer with enough information that they can get a reasonable sense of how much they can sell something for. It doesn't need to be how beautiful is the item, how wonderfully showcased is it, how many pieces of information did you get. It's just about communicating the bare minimum. So what we ask is that you just put in, like, hey, there's a sweater, it's in this condition, and it's this brand, and we would call it clothing. And the other fields are optional, including that SKU field at the bottom. That's something that's purely for your own use, to be able to sort of go pull from your inventory to complete this lot if you have, these are items that have already been inventoried for you. The other option is that to complete that manifest, you can import a spreadsheet that comes from another platform. So that can be from eBay, from Poshmark, from List Perfectly is even better, because they're going to send over the pictures too. So if that's something that you think might be useful for you to export items that you've already created listings for elsewhere and bundle that up into a manifest on Haulsale, you can do that with the import CSV, and we'd be happy to walk you through that. And in terms of item descriptions, we do say just a quick type in of what the items are, and then you can go in and add in photos per item, or you can go in and just photograph the group and add it in the next page. You can show pictures of the whole pile.
Yeah, I was kind of playing around, because this is what I do. So this is the piece that might, like, if you're just overwhelmed and you have what, 20 pieces. Wait, you had a limit on this though, didn't you?
We are, the current limit is 15 items. So
the minimum is 15. Okay.
Yeah. So we really want, if it's a smaller lot you're working on, we really want to encourage you to give more detail on what's included, because it will help you get a higher price per item when there's more buyer confidence in what they're getting. Whereas if you're really, like, you're liquidating a large collection of stuff and it's not feasible, we've got the option for you to skip that itemized thing and just head right into
and if you price it to sell, like if you just price it to sell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it is one thing that maybe I didn't mention earlier is that you have the option to run your listing as an auction. So you can set a buy it now price and an auction, or just a buy it now price or just an auction. But we really, a lot of where we got sort of the inspiration for this model comes from, there are so many like Facebook groups that do inventory exchange for resellers. Like right now, it's kind of like that's one of the only options for people to do these types of exchanges. And like, they are functionally having to run auctions in the comments, like managing your own auction and like becoming your own auctioneer by watching people's comments. Like, so we know auctioning is we want people to have the market set the price or have the opportunity for people to really get some bidding in there, but it's totally set it and forget it. So we wanted to include the auction feature as an option.
I see Katie and Vicky are here. And I guess that's a good time to mention that you are one of the sponsors of the Boss Reseller Remix and will be here in Vegas in a few weeks.
Yes, I am very excited. In fact, Katie and I have some time on the calendar this evening to talk about my talk and Boss. So yeah, we are really, really excited, and we're really grateful that we were invited to be panelists at the convention. So that's a pretty exciting as such a young startup and a young business that we get the same opportunity to meet with the Boss community as like eBay and Mercari do. So that's really cool. And the Boss community has been like some of our earliest users have come from that community. So their support's been wonderful. And yeah, we're coming to Vegas. And so I'm wanting to maybe host some type of a little wholesale meetup out there in Vegas. So that might be something I look to for your help on, Danny, and because I'm seeing people in the chat here too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Boss is going to be good.
Peace of love by Christy. Welcome to the Niche Nation. Let's see, what else have I missed in the chat here?
Do the listings go into categories? Yeah, I hope that you could see in the demo that where Danny just pulled it up that there's some categories, and you can list in multiple categories simultaneously. And our categories are like kind of general right now, just because like, the volume on our site is continuing to grow. As we continue to have more and more volume and it becomes more necessary to niche down further in categories, we're going to do so. We've got a working list of what those subcategories can be in our Facebook group if you want to chime in on what subcategory you want to see added.
I do have a chat comment here that I need to address. So Kimmy, I'm guessing that you weren't here when I explained why I am promoting Wholesale and the fact that I have been watching this company from the very beginning, growing, talking to others who have used it. While I have not done so myself yet, but I'm going to today. I'm going to absolutely do this like live on the air. But I do my research and I will not just endorse any company. And believe me, I probably get, I'm going to say at least 10 a day. That's probably a very conservative number. 10 a day of companies who want me to endorse their product or service. And I simply don't do it. I do vet them. I do make sure there are no issues going on where, because it's my reputation too. If you all go and use this and then it's a really bad experience. But so yeah, I just needed to address that.
We're on a mission that you are going to have a great experience. And if it's anything other than great, we need to know about it. And we want to talk to you very directly. As we develop our product, like making sure that everybody's satisfied and it's working for everybody is the number one goal. So you're going to try it.
Can you hear my dog just going nuts? Like, I don't even know why.
I'm surprised mine hasn't decided to chime in as well. He's being suspiciously quiet.
Usually we put her over, we have a casita, and usually we put her over there when the kids leave
because she's upset.
Like to be alone.
I saw a good question around setting a shipping price. Okay, so yes and no. We have the option for you to set a flat rate shipping fee, which is a great solution if you're shipping things that could go in a flat rate box or a media mail particularly. So you can set flat rate shipping and self-manage the shipping process, but we don't yet have the technical capability for you to limit what buyers and what radius that will be accessible to. So that is a consideration. It won't ship beyond the continental US. I can tell you that because we're limiting users there. If someone from Alaska or Hawaii wanted to purchase your lot at this time, because we don't have the capability to shut that off, we're just closely monitoring. We know who's in Alaska, who's buying from our site. And so we're keeping an eye on that. And of course we'd work with you if there was any kind of issue there. But yeah, unfortunately it's coming, the ability to do that's much more granular manipulation of the shipping options. But for the time being, it's either just put in the dimensions and then we spit out the cheapest rate for someone based on where they are, or it's that you enter in a flat rate and then basically just give us the tracking number, but otherwise manage the process yourself.
Here's what I think is super cool about this. And the questions are great, you guys. Keep them coming because you launched this February?
February, we started the beta test. And if you saw the site in February, it is very different now.
That's only 6 months ago.
Yeah, well, and it's a testament to how crazy, hardworking, and fast my partner Kat is. She's like a speed demon.
Yeah, but what's so cool about this is you guys have the opportunity to get in on the very, like, be able 10 years from now to say, you know what? I was one of their first ones. I've been with them. How many people love saying that about eBay? You know, I've been selling since they were whatever they were before they were eBay. I can't even remember, auction bid or whatever. Like, this is a company who's got their stuff together and is presenting a tremendously awesome solution, and it's only going to get better. But I want to make sure I'm watching the time because I am going to go over and find a lot to purchase. And then what I'm going to end up doing is obviously I'll open it on camera, and then I'll probably be selling this stuff in one of my upcoming live sales too. So you guys can just see the whole process from start to finish, and I'll let you know how much money I made on it.
Maybe I can take like 2 more questions or something while you're showing the screen to get over there, just because Carol asked a great question about
I see
methods. So a secure payment method, we use the payment processor Stripe, which is like a huge.
Oh, Stripe is very good.
Yeah, it's like almost neck and neck with PayPal in terms of like how many users and how much money gets transacted through it. So we have all of the finances are stored in Stripe totally securely. You basically just click a button on our site that directs you over to Stripe to set up an account where you do direct deposit payouts. So the process is relatively simple through Stripe, and you would find that sort of like the start button by under your account settings, going to the payouts tab. The payment method is even easier, and that's just a matter of adding a credit card at checkout. So Danny will probably, do you want to type your credit card information on screen live?
Oh, sure. Let me just do that.
You got to show people how secure it is.
Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes, I thought maybe you'd like that one. How about cross-posting to different selling sites? So this is not a great opportunity for cross-posting because basically, like, when you have a bid in and on your lot, it's like a contracted sale for what's in on that manifest, what you've documented on the manifest. So if you sold a piece from elsewhere, that can get a little tricky. You'd have to run in and hope nobody had put in a bid yet and edit it and reduce the quantity and stuff. So generally, we very highly encourage that if you're bundling something up to sell it as a lot on wholesale, you've delisted it elsewhere. So
as I am browsing here, Emma, so I've got it recently active. So that So what does that mean exactly? Active?
So what we introduced a new feature to help sellers. Basically, you're allowed to bump your listings now. So that means that the seller has recently checked in. They've recently, in many cases, dropped the price, and you can see where they've dropped the price. And they've verified that that is still in stock. It's still available. That the manifest is exactly as it was. That's something that we are monitoring ourselves internally in terms of like, are your lots still available? They've been on here since February when we first launched. Are they still there? But this is a great way to see what's sellers who are incentivized to move their stuff. We're allowing them to kind of move up to the top by bumping pretty easily. We're not interested in doing any type of like a sharing based thing like Poshmark, because personally I find that to be hell. And instead, it's just once a week you can hit bump if you want. So that's how that works.
This is a good example too of, so you got to click in to really see what your all-in price is, because this went up to $906 per unit for me.
Is it again? It's doing a huge jump.
Yeah.
It's what happens when you not that you have to complete the transaction, but if you click buy now, could you tell me what the breakdown is on the buy now screen? So the shipping fee ends up being quite high.
Yeah, it's that shipping.
Okay. Yeah, it might be a fairly large box there.
So when when I'm creating a lot, I'm putting in the dimensions of the box and all of that at the time, and that's how it's calculating.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's how it's
Okay.
calculating. I saw a question about a separate bank account. That's totally up to you, in terms of how you do your banking for your business, but it can be a personal or a bank account that you attach for payouts. And I also saw a little comment of like considering Whatnot for liquidation, but not liking the idea of being in front of a camera. I definitely want us to be a home for people who are not necessarily interested in doing live selling. It's like, we want you to be able to liquidate really easily and basically set it and forget it. And so hopefully this can be an alternative for you if
I
thing isn't.
suspect these might possibly be sellers not understanding the oversize limitations.
That's a very good point, and it really could be.
Because that one bumped up to 71.85 also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something for us to look at, that's for sure. I think then that's a very helpful piece for us to be monitoring in terms of our appraisal process, is verifying whether or not people are using shipping dimensions that are optimal.
Yeah, because Texas to here should not, I mean, that's only 10 plush.
Right.
So I suspect they're putting it in too big of a box.
I think that really could be the case.
Yeah.
And I do know, though, that you can sort by price per unit, which if it's jumping around might not be the most helpful, but
Yeah, because it's probably not going to know that I'm
right in Vegas.
that
It does
close
go by a
until-
sort of generic, like halfway across the country.
Right, because the price per unit. And you guys, I'm sorted right. I'm in toys right now because I'm kind of looking for plush, because you guys know I sell a lot of plush. So, and you can search too. It doesn't have to just be looking by categories. So now here's all of the plushies. Yeah, because when I went in, then it was the shipping that caused these to be, because I'd be in at $3 a unit.
Right. I hear you. So I'm seeing questions about fabric. Great question. Absolutely. Yes. I'm a little concerned that the shipping prices are coming up so prohibitively for you. And I'm actually looping in, so Kat's in the next room. Is it Shippo who's betraying us right now? Or is this an outcome of having oversized boxes?
Yeah, and I'm seeing that most of these sellers are a distance from me.
Mm-hmm.
See this one. I want to buy one. So, yeah. Woo! Hello.
Let me see. I actually just tabbed away so that I could,
Now that is only 9 plush and they don't look that big. So I bet you Shippo's they're doing something. So what is the base price?
How ideal. So what is the base price? That means that's the price of the lot. And it's actually
okay.
to note because our seller or our buyer's premium is calculated before shipping. So it's only on the base price of the lot. So that's important to know. One other exciting thing that we learned, that I'm kind of announcing it here, and it's maybe not ready to go just this second, but we got an offer from our payment processor that they're going to be able to waive all payment fees for us for a couple of months. So that's going to be very exciting. Nice. I'll be able to announce that and have it implemented on the site quite soon. And again, it's, you're seeing a real life business. Sometimes shipping goes a little.
This is great because I bet this gets addressed.
Yeah, it certainly will. I just navigated away from our video here so that I could go send a report to Kat.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I hope if anything, it's a testament to the fact that, this is an authentic real-time video with a real shopping experience. And again, I just want to reiterate that, like, anytime you're seeing like a pattern of something that seems too high, seems inappropriately calculated.
Yeah, something's definitely up.
Function of calculation, and it's something that needs to be reported to us as a bug. So rarely does it happen when I have a live audience, but
I know. Sorry.
So that's the deal.
But yeah, because it's doing it on every single lot. So I pulled up something that I kind of know, like even 50 of these is not going to be that big of a package, not oversized, shouldn't weigh more than maybe each one of these probably weighs like 2 ounces.
Right.
I'm trying to do math in my head. Somebody tell me, like, this is not more than 10 pounds. So it shouldn't be $45.
So how about this? I'll refund you the difference on the label. I can certainly do that. If you do want to go ahead and do the checkout, we can absolutely help you with that. And that would be the case for
because I want to show them like the whole process. And then what I'm thinking is on my next jewelry sale, I'm going to ship, as long as I don't get more than 50 orders, I'm going to ship everybody one of these in their order.
That would be great. Yeah. And then you can document the customer service experience as we refund you the difference for this shipping.
There we go. So now it's showing me the lot price is $10. It's costing me the $1 extra for the platform fee, which is nothing. It's totally cool. And it's just this weird wacko little shipping fee here. Because now, so the process is that I buy this, you guys are purchasing the label and sending it to the seller.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we like, in an instance like this, it's 100% within our capability to identify where the problem's happening and reimburse you for any difference. Obviously, it's something we want to correct immediately. I noticed there was a question about Vero items. So we don't currently prohibit anything that's Vero because people sell outside of eBay. There are lots of flea market buyers and people who do Facebook Marketplace and in-person sales of various kinds. So we don't necessarily prohibit things just based on any one platform having a prohibition against it. So that's that answer. And how is shipping? And I can't stand Mercari unpriced shipping costs. Well, how is shipping today? Not good. How is shipping in general? Quite smooth. So I definitely want to emphasize that, like, if that's a pain point for us in terms of tech, it's something that's a big part of our roadmap to expand that, get more functionality for the user, figure out what's causing glitches intermittently like this.
I keep popping on and off just to make sure I'm not showing my credit card or my address or anything as I do this. So I have made my purchase. It's now in my little dashboard area under purchases.
Yeah.
And it shows who I bought it from, what I bought, my payment, and then it says awaiting shipping.
Yeah. And so when the article has shipped, that will update with a tracking number. Okay. On the seller side, he now would go to his sales tab and he would find the shipping label there for download. And then the tracking information will be updated. That's a process that's being done manually at this time. So the one thing I can't promise you that is like a standard that we are going to be working towards is automatic notifications around, like, it shipped, it was delivered. Obviously, that's something that everybody wants. And that's part of this sort of like larger, when we get the developers we need, we can get that.
That's why I keep reiterating the fact that you guys are only 6 months old. Like, this is, if you're this good now, how much better is it going to be? That to me is exciting.
Someday we'll laugh about it.
I know, right? Like, hey, remember that live I did for all the shipping?
Yeah, and I'm laughing about it now, and it's not the biggest deal because I know that we're able to totally refund anybody that's impacted by this. So again, and it's an example of something we want to be learning.
A really good experience for you guys. Like, nothing's really been selling to the West Coast.
It could explain it. And thanks, Liz. You've seen us work fast. It's true. We do try and whip these things out as soon as we can. I saw one comment quickly, and I know we're getting tight on time, but just a question of if you have to pay to list. Do not pay to list. It's a percentage fee on the sale once it's made. So no cost to use the site until there's a sale. And that's a 10% selling fee. So
super, super reasonable, super reasonable. Yeah, so I know shipping causes so many people to be so scared off of reselling, but really, you guys, it's not. Just think about, like, well, what's the worst that can happen? I either pay too much for shipping, or I don't charge enough, and those are all fixable. They're all fixable moments, and that's how you grow in business, is by being presented with a challenge, you know, you don't grow if you're not presented with challenges that you can then find the solution and move past it and through it. And that's like business in a nutshell. Is nothing ever goes 100% smooth in a business. Nothing.
It never does, but I'll tell you, it's been intellectually stimulating, this journey. when things pop up that are like, just, you know, what fresh hell will happen today? We fix it and we learn. And I think working with resellers and like having such a supportive community has actually been like the best possible scenario, or the best environment to do a startup like this in, because everybody
is an amazing community. It really is.
People have been really supportive and understanding, and it's been, I think, with the patience and the support of all the resellers who've been working with us from the beginning, that we've been able to work through these things. And you know, here's another one. What are you gonna do? I saw one question about the discount code, the niche lady code. When you're actually checking out, there's an option to put in a promo code, and that will take 10% off your order. The niche lady, all one word, all caps.
All caps. All caps.
Definitely. Yeah, so you completed your sale. I'm so excited to see when it gets to you. And I can't thank you enough for having me on and giving me the opportunity to show your audience the site and hopefully answer the questions that came through, but I know we missed some. So please feel free to reach out to me, Emma@hall.sale, or join our Facebook group, or even just use the little chat button on the website, and we will get back to you with any questions that you have. We're really looking forward to talking with you.
Awesome. Awesome. And if you are coming to the Boss Reseller Remix, Emma will be there.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. It's always really great to be in person with people and forge those relationships. So there are tickets still available. If you can make it to Vegas, October 11th, 12th, and 13th. It's I cannot believe how, I mean, Katie and Vicky are probably like, I cannot believe this is like less than a month away now.
Right? It's been on my calendar and I've been looking forward to it for so long, and it's like, it's almost here. So I'm really, really excited. And yeah, to get to meet everybody in person is going to be amazing. And I am looking forward to meeting you too, Thrifting Vegas. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody who was so awesome here in the chat today. So that sounds good.
All right. You guys, please send your questions. No, we probably missed, or you'll think of it after we like sign off and all of that. You know, you can always ask me as well, although I'm probably a little slower to answer questions than most, because it has to channel through Carrie going through the email, and then she puts it in a folder, says, Danny, you have to answer these, and then I get to them. So, but thank you.
We're here to answer questions around the clock, so don't even worry about it. Send it directly to us.
I hope to see many of you over at Whatnot at 3 p.m. I'm doing a Disney. In fact, this is what's going to be in my sale at 3 p.m. over on Whatnot.
Good luck on your sale. I'm sure it'll go great.
Hopefully Bougie will be there in a way. Are you going to wake up for that? What do you think? Why do you have your back to us as we sign off? We wore blue for you and everything.
Very rude.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, and everyone else, go be profitable and make it fun. We'll see you on the next one. We'll play a little music as we sign you out.
Sounds good.